is Jenny Lynn and this is my channel, and today's video is Asked and Answered. So in this video, I'm going to address some frequently asked questions, and some of them are kind of funny and weird, and some of them are, I guess, pretty, fairly normal and standard, but I thought it would be cool to address some of the questions in a video so you guys get to know a little bit more about me, and maybe if you have a question, it'll get answered. I don't know, maybe. So I have a little list here. So one of the first questions I get asked all the time is, you live in New York, so what is it like living in the city? So I don't live in New York City, I live in New York State. Specifically, I live in Western New York, so that's like the Buffalo side of the state. I live south of Buffalo. So I live much closer to places like Pennsylvania, Canada, and Ohio. Live much closer to those places than I do New York City. New York City is way, way, way on the other side of the state. So, now, I have visited the city a bunch of times. I do enjoy going to the city occasionally to visit. I love the food. I love the art. I love the music and, all of those things. I do enjoy going for those things. I don't think I would ever actually live in New York City because it's just a little too much for me. I like quiet a little bit more. So I definitely do prefer living in Western New York as opposed to the city. Another frequently asked question is about my hair. A lot of people will stop me when I'm out in public, and there's a lot of people that are always like, oh my gosh, I love your hair, I love your hair. And one of the frequently asked questions surrounding my hair is, what do I use on my hair? And how do I get it so bright and green? I use Punky Color, which is a semi-permanent hair color. And I use the color Aspen Green, and I dilute it with a little bit of conditioner. I do bleach my hair. I've recently bleached my roots. You can see that they're, a little bit bright and crazy right now. And sometimes I have to double color the roots because they are like really bright. But yeah, I do bleach my hair. I do dye it. This hair dye actually stays in my hair really, really well, so I don't have to really touch it up like all the time. So, I would say probably every 3 or 4 weeks I'll, touch up the color a little bit because it does fade out. But even when it does fade, I actually really, really like how it fades to kind of like a bluish turquoise color, so it's kind of fun, so I don't like obsessively put color on. I just let it do its thing. I like it. And I've tried a bunch of different hair colors in my lifetime. I've had very, very short hair, I've had very, very long hair. Most of the time I had blonde hair. I was, as a child I had blonde hair. Now it's darkened a little bit that I've gotten older, but it's kind of like a very ashy blonde color, maybe like a light brownish, you know, but you know, if the sun hits it, it turns super blonde and yada, yada, yada. So if you have further questions about my hair, I could go on forever about hair and hair color and vivid hair and all of that. So, you know, just definitely ask me. I will tell you all about the hair. I love the bright hair. Another question I get asked at least 4 or 5 times a year is if I am a vampire. There's some like longer stories that go along with that and some funny stories. I don't know if I'll tell them here because they can get kind of long and they're kind of funny. But people ask me that because I'm 37 and there's a lot of people that think I look a lot younger than I am, which I take that as a compliment. It's also very funny to me. You know, are you a vampire? You never seem to age, but trust me, I have aged. Makeup helps. Nice lighting helps. You know, I do have wrinkles. See? Yeah, I do, you know, but there are certain things that help, and I try to take care of my skin. I try not to, you know, get sunburns or anything like that. You know, I drink a lot of water. I drink about 96 ounces of water a day. I always carry around my water bottle. It's with me all the time. And I try to eat a decent diet. I try to stay away from too much sugar and too much junk. I mean, I do eat sugar and I do eat candy, some. And you might think I eat a lot of it, but I really don't. You know, like on videos, like I eat it and I might snack a little bit, but I try to, you know, eat good, try to be, you know, healthy. I really should work out again. I've been since like all the virus that shall not be named stuff and quarantining and doing all this weird things. Like I've kind of slacked off on my working out, but you know, there are things like that and genetics. My parents both look a lot younger than they really are. So I think that there are a lot of factors involved in that, but I do take the compliments, so thank you for being really sweet to me. But yes, I'm 37, I'll be 38 in July. I'm creeping up on 40 pretty fast, but thank you for all of you that make the beautiful, nice compliments on how I look. I appreciate that. How long have I been doing art is another question. I've been doing artwork ever since I could hold a pencil. That's kind of the best way to put it. You know, I started drawing and was interested in art from when I was really little. And, you know, in high school, middle school and high school, I really got into artwork. I did take classes at Chautauqua Institution. Some of you might know that place, especially if you're from my area. And I've, you know, studied under other artists. I've asked a lot of questions. I've read books. I've watched videos. You know, I've just continued my education, and I'm still learning to this day. There's still, you know, tips and techniques that I pick up. So I've been doing art for a really, 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 really long time. Okay, and I'm 37, like I had said before, so almost my entire life I've been doing artwork. But doing just artwork only, like as a job, it's been about 2 years now that I've just been doing art. So, I mean, yeah, I'll take a little odd job here and there, but yeah, mostly just artwork and working on the YouTube show right now. So I'm 2 years in on that full time. Here's a weird one, okay? And I've had at least 4 or 5 people ask me about this over this last year. They want to know why I'm missing a tooth right here. Why are you missing a tooth? Because at certain angles you can see I am missing a tooth. So that tooth has been missing since I think I was like, oh geez, 13, 14 years old or something, roughly. And that tooth, it ended up getting like one of those pinhole cavities, and I didn't even know. And of course, my parents took us to the dentist and we brushed our teeth and we tried to take care of our teeth, right? But that one, all of a sudden I started having a lot of pain, and I was like, there's something going on. So we went to the dentist and he's like, yeah, you got like an abscess in that tooth. And I'm like, what? And they were like, yeah, you know, we could do root canal, we could do all these things, but then they ultimately decided to pull it. And actually, pulling that tooth right there was kind of a good thing, because I have an overlap in my front teeth, okay? And it used to be more severe when I was young. And I mean, of course, I was still growing and my mouth was still expanding. But since they pulled that tooth out when I was a kid, my front teeth flattened out more. I mean, I still have a little bit of a crooked tooth there, but it actually helped kind of like give my mouth a little extra room. So it was a good thing. And I don't even really notice it personally. Like I guess if I go like that, you see, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, maybe someday I'll end up with fake teeth and I'll just get them all, you know, when I get older and when these no longer function, maybe I'll just get all fake teeth and they'll look like perfect. But I figure as long as they're functional, I'm gonna leave them alone. So there you go. I'm missing a tooth right there. And I do have a fake one in the front too. Actually, I have a fake one in the front, and that one was from an accident when I was also in middle school. Middle school was a rough time. Got a fake one right there. And that was because I got my head smashed into a drinking fountain, and it was not really on purpose, it was actually an accident. I had a friend that thought it would be funny if I got my face wet, and he went like that on the back of my head, and my mouth hit the metal piece and it broke that tooth, and I had to get, oh, that was a big rigmarole. I've had root canal and I've had like all these weird things, and eventually they ended up giving me one of the implants, so that's got like the metal post in it. Yeah, so whatever, teeth, right? And they're expensive as heck too, by the way. Okay, so do I do art full-time or do I have other jobs? I do art full-time, and I've been full-time for a couple years with it. But I have had other jobs. I've done art on the side, you know, for my whole life. So like I would, you know, either do art as a hobby, or sometimes people would say, oh, can you paint me this? I want to buy it. And I would. And, you know, so I have worked, you know, other jobs. You know, I've worked in construction, which was very, very interesting. I did tile laying when I was younger, like in my 20s. And I did like interior, exterior painting and different things like that. I also worked in the funeral business for a number of years. Ooh, weird. Yes, maybe. I did a little bit of everything, all aspects of the funeral business. I did embalming and, you know, everything, you know. So that might be kind of surprising to some of you. There's other people that know me in real life, and, you know, they've heard a little bit about it. So I've done that. I did an apprenticeship and was a piercer for a period of time as well when I lived in Florida. Yeah, so I've had some weird, kind of interesting jobs, but I did like all those jobs. They were all very good. I did kind of burn out on them though, you know. So with the construction job, like physically, it started to get to me. You know, the funeral business, I kind of burned out on it because I was around like a lot of sad things all the time. So I did eventually get out of that business because it was a lot emotionally. And, doing the piercing, that was fun. It was okay, but I did get, kind of bored with it, eventually it was just like, oh, I'm ready to move on to the next thing. And then I've had like little weird jobs like cashier jobs, and I did house cleaning, and so I've done a variety of things, and they were all cool and fun and interesting. But my passion and my heart is in the arts, so it is my hope that I can continue to grow my little art stuff, keep selling work and all of that. How many tattoos do I have? That's another question I get. I do have a half sleeve, so if I count that as just one tattoo, I actually have 6 tattoos. Some of them you don't see because they're covered up with clothes, but I do have 6 tattoos. I got back tattoos, stuff like that. So yeah, I have 6 tattoos. I love tattoos. I would love to get more tattoos. Like I don't have any on my legs. So I've thought about getting like a thigh tattoo or something like that. I thought about it. Tattoos for me, they're like potato chips. It's like you can't just have one. You got to sit and eat the whole bag. You want a bunch of tattoos. But I think I'll probably, like for me, like with tattoos, like I would definitely get tattoos in places where I could cover them up if I needed to. Just in case I had to go back into like the professional world. And there's like, I could probably get into this big, discussion about tattoo acceptance, especially in the workplace. I think it's getting better. I think that people who are covered in tattoos, a lot of times I find them to look very beautiful. I just think that for me right now, like I would definitely keep everything where I could, cover it up if I wanted to. But maybe someday there'll be a world where, we don't have to worry about that. So we could get like tattoos everywhere and still be not looked at as like a criminal or something, I guess. Because there's still some of that old stigma, like if you have tattoos on your face, you've been to prison or something. It's like, no, not always, right? Another question I get is, have I ever modeled or acted? I've modeled for like student projects and like, like photography and art, like posed for art, and, done different things that are like that for like small time things, little arty projects or, nothing big. Like I've modeled, for those things, just never like super professionally, I guess. And acting, I've acted on my own, skits here. I think I did a little acting here and there, again, when I was younger, little student projects, stuff like that. But like anything super professional, I haven't. I was involved behind the scenes for our musicals and stuff when I was a young person in high school. So I did enjoy being more behind the scenes, working with the lighting and set building and painting and, backstage, moving sets around and things like that. Like I loved that aspect of it a little bit more than being out on stage. For a long time, when I was younger, I actually was very afraid of public speaking. Like I would get super anxiety and it felt like I wanted to barf, and so I was a little bit afraid of it. I mean, sometimes when I did do public speaking, people were like, wow, you did a really good job, and I'm just like, oh, I did? Really? I was so scared the whole time. So, you know, even like starting this show, I was terrified to speak on camera when I first started, but I just really pushed myself. So I think if I was to get like a modeling gig, you know, or acting now, I think I would probably do a lot better and be a lot less afraid of it. And so yeah, if you guys got any leads, I'll take them. I would love to, you know, act or do like a collab with someone, or, you know, even model for like projects. Like, I'm interested, you know, yeah, I would definitely do it. And the last question I've been asked probably 3 or 4 times is, what is up with my YouTube show? So there are some people, I guess, that are a little confused, or they don't quite understand what it is I'm doing, because I do like a variety show, and that's what it is. Like what I'm trying to do is not only show you like the time lapse of the art or talk about art, but I'm also trying to show you other aspects of my life and my creativity, my adventures. So I like to break up the, you know, because just one long time lapse, like, it's awesome, it's cool, but we feel like if we break it up with other interesting things, it just does something. It just breaks up the monotony of just having it be one thing. And there, you know, I think that there is art everywhere. There's art in all things. So I like to express a little more. I mean, you know, even with like doing skits and me, you know, doing the acting and wardrobe and makeup and, you know, writing things. And there are people that give me great ideas. And my boyfriend, Kenny, he's very skilled at, you know, writing and developing things and running the camera. And so there's a lot involved in it. And that's what I want to do, is I don't want to just only put out, you know, one subject and have it become very boring. You know, I kind of like that, a little bit of everything going on. And it's something that's, I haven't seen anybody else do what I'm doing. So I kind of like that what we've developed and what we are continuing to develop is something that's different, you know. And there's nothing wrong with what other YouTubers are doing. You know, some people just have like their one thing, and that's fine. And if it works for them, great. But I like to spice it up and keep it interesting. So that is what is going on with the variety show. Why do I do that? There you go. Just trying to do something that is different and not completely model myself after all of the other YouTubers out there. So all right, so that's all I have for you right now on, you know, my frequently asked questions. If you have any interesting questions, go ahead and feel free to, you know, ask them, and then maybe I'll, in the future, you know, after a number of months have passed, I'll do another one of these where I answer some of your questions that you may have. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. But before you go, make sure that you like, share, comment, subscribe, and be sure that you hit the notification bell so you know when all of these interesting, fun videos come out. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.